The strangers, believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 Creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. with the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
Alright guys, alright. It's going to be a bit of a bar-filled night, to be honest. Yeah, it's going to be mostly about that, actually, to be honest. But we've got some other stuff too. It's all good. It's all good. Combination of a few things. Female weightlifters breaking records that technically aren't females anymore. Well, they never were in the first place, but apparently they are. But it's also confusing now. I feel like I identify as a red panda, so therefore I must be a red panda, right? That's how it works, isn't it? That's all it takes these days, isn't it? You just identify as something, and therefore you are one, right? So therefore I identify as a red panda. Yeah, simple. I don't have hair. I have fur. Apparently, fuck do I know? But anyway. It's making dating life a lot more interesting, that's for sure. Alright. Alright, so where were we? Okay. Uncheck. Alright. Apparently we're still monetized at the moment. That's impressive. And there we go. Alright. Okie dokie. We'll just kick it off, get it started, and go from there, I suppose. But yeah, so Senator Richard Blumenthal tells Barr that history will judge you harshly because apparently they're not going to judge the Democrats at all. But anyway, Democrats Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal ripped Attorney General Barr during Wednesday's Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. Blumenthal told Barr that history will judge you harshly, and may God have thunder on your soul, and may be a bit unfair for this handling of the Mueller report. Blumenthal also called Barr the designated fall guy for the Trump administration. To me, this seems like that Blumenthal is trying to go through and trying to cause a little bit of division. That's what I think he's trying to do here. Maybe trying to get Barr on his side so that he'll turn evidence against Trump. That'd be my suggestion, but let's have a look and listen as to what happened. And you guys should be able to hear it in chat. When it loads. Like 12 days to the internet.
But I think history will judge you harshly and maybe a bit unfairly because you seem to have been the designated fall guy for this report. And
hello,
I
Chute.
think that
about 15 days, I believe.
Conclusion is inescapable in light of the 4-page summary and then the press conference you did on the day it was released, knowing that you had in hand a letter from the special counsel saying that he felt that you mischaracterized his report. And you were asked by one of my colleagues, Senator Van Hollen, whether you knew that Bob Mueller supported your conclusion, and you said, I don't know whether Bob Mueller supported my conclusion. You were asked by Representative Christ.
Excuse me, Senator. That conclusion was not related to my description of the findings in the March 24th letter. That conclusion refers to my conclusion on the obstruction cases. So it's a different conclusion.
It was exactly the same word, conclusions, that was used by Special Counsel Mueller. And on the obstruction...
But it's a different circumstance, isn't it? And this is the problem. This is why the left keep losing. They're lying. They are deliberately lying about this situation. But Barr literally just pointed out, but hang on, no, that's a different situation. And Blumenthal's excuse was, oh, but it's the same sort of thing. Well, no, you just literally got called out in real time for it, didn't you?
Issue at page 8 and 182 of the report. I don't know whether you have it in front of you. The special counsel specifically said, at the same time, I'm quoting, if we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. He said it again at page 182, and yet in...
Yeah, but what was the next sentence after that is what I want to know. Look, at the end of the day, what I think Blumenthal's trying to do, look, obviously he's a Democrat. Obviously they're going on about this Trump-Russia collusion thing. We knew they were going to double down when it came to this. Although at the moment I think they've doubled down on the double down of the double down of the double down of the double down of the double down to like the 100th power. Like, it's just absolutely insane that they're going to keep going with this Russia narrative when everybody knows it's a complete crock of shit. It really, really is. Like, come on, you're going to tell me some Russian company that we may or may not, we don't even know, has ties to the government, presuming they do, because we'll just presume they do, because it's a better argument for the Democrats. Say this foreign research company had ties to the Russian government. Say the Russian government organized this research company to go through and to make these ads, which is something that we don't even know for sure. We're only guessing that at the best case scenario for the Democrats. Show me people that change their mind over this vote. Show me people that change their minds over these Russian ads that they ran, that this independent research company ran on both sides, mind you. It's just ads supporting Trump, which is something the Democrats don't want to admit. They ran ads for Hillary and for Trump. They ran Black Lives Matter. They ran Trump ads. They ran Hillary ads. They went through and they picked the areas where the ads would be against the general grain so they could sow division, so to speak. Show me a list of people that are affected by these ads. Show me that people heard more about these ads from this Russian Facebook group than they did about Hillary's email scandal, or Hillary's email systems, or Benghazi, or anything else that she had done wrong. And that's my argument about this. If you want to go on about the Trump-Russia narrative, go on about them hacking the election, show me people that changed their mind solely because of those ads. Because as far as I know, they still can't do that either. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just some wanker sitting in my study, which supposedly does a better job of reporting on the news than half of mainstream media. Because I call this Russia narrative a load of crap 12, 18, 2 years ago, 3 years ago almost. When it first started popping up, I was calling it a load of shit. But anyway. Attorney General Barr says he won't stop using the word spying. I wonder why they want you to stop using that word. Attorney General Bill Barr sparred with the Democrat Senator Sheldon Whitehouse Wednesday over the AOG's use of the word spying to describe the actions of the FBI took against the Trump campaign. The reason they want him to stop using that word is because that's the word Trump used. Trump said they were spying on his campaign. And now Barr is using the exact same word, which is reinforcing what Trump was saying. And it's also making the Democrats look really, really bad when the former Democrat president spied on a Republican. Like, this is Watergate shit. This is what Watergate did. Now, obviously, Watergate, he broke into the offices and stuff like that. But the main premise of Watergate, the major scandal, was obviously the break-in, but also the fact that he was spying on his opposition. Freaking Obama's been doing it too. But anyway. Barr allegedly testimony to the House Appropriations Committee in April that spying did occur against the Trump campaign as the FBI investigated alleged ties to Russia. In addition to conducting surveillance on former Trump campaign staff Carter Page, the FBI used informant Stephen Harper to make contact with 3 Trump campaign advisors. Big frigging shock on that one, isn't it? We do have that for you. We will play that for you guys right now.
Welcome to another episode of Law Talk.
Can we get rid of the ad? Right, here we go.
And I just want to nail down, you used the word spying about authorized DOJ investigative activities.
Are you talking about my testimony before
Yes.
the House Appropriations?
Yes.
Okay.
In the entirety of your previous career in the Department of Justice, including as Attorney General, have you ever referred to authorized department investigative activities officially or publicly as spying? I'm not asking for private conversation.
I'm not going to abjure the use of the word spying. I think, my first job was in CIA, and I don't think the word spying has any pejorative connotation at all. To me,
But
the
you
question,
recognize
to me,
that
the question is always whether or not it's authorized and adequately predicated spying. I think spying is a good English word that, in fact, doesn't have synonyms because it is the broadest word incorporating really all forms of covert intelligence collection. So I'm not going to back off the word spying, except I will say
When did
I'm
you
not
decide to use
suggesting any pejorative, and I use it frequently, as do media.
When did you decide to use it? Was it off the cuff in the hearing that day, or did you go into that hearing intending to use the word
It was
spying?
actually off the cuff, to tell you the truth, and when the person
Congressman, probably?
from Schatz from Hawaii.
Oh, was here? Shaheen?
No.
Whoever it was, go ahead.
Yeah, when he challenged me and said, "You want to change your language?" I was actually thinking, like, what's the issue? I don't consider it a pejorative. But if frankly, we went back and looked at press usage, and up until all the FAW outrage a couple of weeks ago, commonly used in the press to refer to authorized activities, such as referring
But
to
it's
the
not
FISA
commonly
court as
used
the
by
spy
the
court.
department.
What?
It is not commonly used by the department. My time is up.
Commonly used by me.
Thank you very much. We'll come back at 10 till 1. Thank you.
Hey Janet, how are you? I do have a theory about that, and that was something I've actually said on the radio the other night, and I will talk about that in a sec. Lindsey Graham, let's just wrap up this whole Barr stuff first, because it's kind of a mess, and then we'll talk about Assange. Lindsey Graham slaps down Mazie Hirono after she accused Barr of lying in Congress. Sparks a few at the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday when the chairman of the panel accused Hawaii Democrat Senator Mazie Hirono, might be mispronouncing, of slandering the Attorney General William Barr. You slandered this man from the top to bottom, South Carolina GOP Senator Lindsey Graham said to Toronto after the Democrats ended a minute-long monologue in which she accused Barr of lying to Congress about the special counsel's Russia report. So, the fire exchange between Hiroto asked Barr to comment on the allegations that President Donald Trump threatened witnesses in the special counsel's probe. After Barr asked Hiroto for clarification, she injected, saying, Mr. Attorney General, you give us some credit knowing what the hell is going on around here with you. That's when Graham jumped in. No, really. To this line of questioning, he said, listen, you've slandered this man. I don't think I'm slandering anyone, Hiroto said. You've slandered this man from top to bottom. You also want more of this. You're not going to get it, Graham replied. We do have that clip, and we'll play that for you now as well. Yeah, neither can I, Trip. It's a, yeah.
Don't testify against him. To threaten the family of someone who does. Is that okay?
When did he offer a pardon to someone?
I think you know what I'm talking about. Please.
What do you mean?
Please, Mr. Attorney General, give us some credit for knowing what the hell is going on around here with you.
Not really. To this line of questioning.
So,
listen, you've slandered this man.
Yeah, what I sort of want to know is how do we get to this point?
I do not think that
how do we
I'm
get to the
slandering
point where
anyone.
All I can say,
Mr. Chairman, I am done. Thank you very much.
And you slandered this man from top to bottom. So if you want more of this, you're not going to get it. If you want to ask him questions, you can't.
You certainly have your opinion.
We do have more about Graham too. So Graham's kind of spoken up a bit during this, but we'll keep going. So MSN Brian Williams pushed conspiracy theory not correct that Mueller found no collusion.
No conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian government regarding the 2016 election. As to obstruction of justice, Mr. Mueller left it to Mr. Barr to decide after 2 years and all this time. He said, Mr. Barr, you decide. Mr. Barr did. There are a bunch of lawyers on this committee, and I will tell you the following. You have to have specific intent to obstruct justice. If there's no underlying crime...
We're reluctant to do this. We rarely do. But the chairman of the Judiciary Committee just said that Mueller found there was no collusion. That is not correct. Nicole Wallace, the report says collusion is not a thing they considered. It doesn't exist in federal code.
And what's stunning is that Lindsey Graham is offering answers to questions that aren't on the table today. The question on the table today, after the reporting last night, is why did Barr mischaracterize what was actually in the Mueller report? And I'm sorry, Lindsey Graham, but your defensiveness is showing. To talk about everything that went into it and in the next breath distort it is a stunning mischaracterization of what the whole exercise is supposed to be about. Reveals what I talked about before, that he is sitting there today not as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, but as a human shield for Donald Trump, and it would appear William Barr.
Again, we try to offer just gavel-to-gavel coverage, but that phrase...
It's funny how they had to actually interject in this, didn't they? It's like, holy shit, he's blasting our narrative! Quick, get in there!
Or the lack of it, its absence from federal code, this no collusion mantra, is so foundational to why we're here today that we decided to flag it when we heard him use it yet again. Back into the chairman and the committee room.
And Blumenthal to make sure that if you hack into a state election system, even though it's not tied to the internet, that's a crime. I would like to do more to harden our infrastructure because the Russians did it.
So that's what happened. So MSNBC literally jumped in and tried to intervene in the broadcast. Like I said, we're not going to interrupt this. And all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, he's breaking our narrative. Quick, get in there to something. He's busting the narrative. I do find that really, really weird, and it makes me wonder what he was actually saying that made them jump in. So let's rewind that.
No conspiracy, but you have to have specific intent.
Hey, Eric, how are you, buddy?
To obstruct. If there's no underlying crime.
Okay, so he just said then there's no intent
To obstruct justice. You have to have specific intent to obstruct justice.
That's the part where they jumped in. So that must be the part where they got worried. They must be like, oh, whoa, hang on, whoa, shit. You know, get in there quick because he's just busting our narrative. And he's right. My understanding is legally, you have to have intent. For obstruction, there was no intent. Was there obstruction? Accidental? Sure. But there was no intent. But their obstruction accidentally was like Trump tweeting about someone being arrested or something, about a witch hunt or something, when someone, Paul Manafort was arrested and stuff. It's, even at best case for the Democrats, it's water thin, it really is. No, Mueller said that no collusion is on the accusations of obstruction and that he couldn't prove or disprove. Yeah, what he was said, Ellen, was that there was no... Mueller said there was no collusion on Trump campaign or any Americans with the Russians. He couldn't prove or disprove obstruction. And for that, he then left it to... Barr to make a decision. And that's what Barr did. Barr went through and made a decision based on his understanding of the law, and that's what he's done. And to be honest, I would say that Barr's description of the law is accurate. You do have to have obstruction. There is no obstruction when it comes to... There's no intent, on obstruction when it comes to Mueller, Trump campaign, stuff like that. So, yeah. The Democrats are grasping at straws because they want to get rid of Trump. The deep state wants to get rid of him, and at the end of the day, they're kind of hoping that this Mueller report was going to be their golden parachute. It's going to be their silver bullet to take down the evil werewolf that was Trump. Unfortunately, the silver bullet became more of an ice bullet, and it sort of impacted and melted. But, yeah. So let me copy paste and go.
Resources and the cooperation he needed to find out what happened was given, in my view. But there were two campaigns in 2016, and we'll talk about the second one in a minute. So what did we learn from this report? After all this time and all this money, Mr. Mueller and his team concluded there was no collusion.
Right.
I didn't know. Like many of you here, on the Republican side, we all agreed that Mr. Mueller should be allowed to do his job without interference. I joined with some colleagues on the other side to introduce legislation to protect the special counsel, that he could only be removed for cause. He was never removed. He was allowed to do his job. So, no collusion, no coordination, no conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian government regarding the...
Oh, okay, yeah, I wonder why he gave me a 5-hour clip. Alright. Yeah, I'll have a look at it later. That's Diamond and Silk, is it? That's cool. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, and he's right, there was no collusion. There was no collusion with Americans and the Russian Trumps or anything like that. Mueller found nothing that would actually go through and cause them to actually say that Trump colluded with Russia. Now, obviously, the obstruction thing, Mueller couldn't make that decision. He refused to make that decision. So then he left that to Barr, and that's where Barr has gone through and made his decision based on his interpretation of the law, and I think his interpretation is correct. So at the end of the day, I would say that Mueller has found that there was no collusion. That is correct. That there is no collusion. I do find it weird that they're literally trying to still claim that. Like, what do they say?
No underlying
We're
crime,
reluctant to do this. We rarely do. But the chairman of the Judiciary Committee just said that Mueller found there was no collusion. That is not correct. Nicole Wallace, the report says collusion is not a thing they considered. It doesn't exist.
But no, that's not true. That whole MSN audit, that MSNBC, that is my understanding. That is factually inaccurate. What MSN is saying here is complete load of shit. But yeah, no, that's all right, Alan. It's all complete. It's all good. Yeah. Maxine Waters. So I haven't seen you around. So in case you're wondering what we're doing, we're going through all the newspaper, going through all the articles that are being published over the past of the day, and we're sitting here and we're picking them apart. We're telling what our version of the truth is, trying to be as nonpartisan as we can. Normally there's two of us, but one of us is still away. But yeah, we try and go through and we have a look at these news reports, and we tell people what the truth of the matter really is regarding and ignoring party lines. So that's what we say. When MSN says it's not correct that Mueller found no collusion, our argument was that MSNBC was full of shit, to be honest. The reason why we the clip is because we like to actually show what MSN was actually saying, so that if anybody has any questions about Breitbart's article or what Breitbart is saying or whatever it may be, then we can say, well, no, here's the clip of them saying this, and it's all on the recording, it's all on the YouTube channel. So yeah, that's what we do. Maxine Waters, Barr should resign or be impeached. Why? Wednesday, NBC, the same people that just literally interrupted the broadcast to jump in when they said they weren't going to do that, said in light of the Washington Post report that Special Counsel Robert Mueller told Attorney General William Barr his summary did not fully capture the content, nature, and substance of the probe. Barr should resign or be impeached. Okay, whatever. Waters said that I think Barr should resign, and if he does not resign, he should be facing impeachment proceedings also. He has abdicated his responsibility. He's lied. He's used the very words coming right out of the president's mouth. No collusion, no collusion, no collusion. And made a decision, and despite what the counsel puts in that report about the obstruction of justice, he's made the decision that he has to... Okay, so this is the thing, right? They're going on about obstruction now because... Yeah, gee, I know, tell me about it. They're going on about the obstruction now because they've realized the whole collusion aspect has fallen apart. It's literally imploded on them, right? So they can't use that anymore. So they're shifting goalposts. That's what they're doing. And they're shifting it now to trying to make it all about obstruction. Well, this is the thing, right? If Mueller had a view on obstruction, Mueller would have made it. Mueller had the chance to rule on obstruction. He decided not to. He left it up to Barr to decide about obstruction. Now, Barr is the Attorney General. It makes sense that Mueller would leave it up to Barr to make that decision. Because he's the frigging Attorney General, it's what he's supposed to do. But like I said, Mueller could have turned around and said, no collusion, but there was obstruction, if he believed it. The fact is, Mueller wouldn't put his name down on anything that was to do with obstruction. He left it up to Barr. And that, to me, says that Mueller isn't entirely convinced that Trump actually obstructed anything. If Mueller was able to find obstruction, he would have said, yes, there was definite obstruction, Trump should be impeached, blah, blah, blah. You got to remember, Mueller is deep state, right? Mueller is the swamp. He is part of the swamp. He covered for the president for September 11. He is not in campaign or Trump's camp regarding this situation. So if he found something that could nail Trump to the wall, he would. And at the end of the day, to me, the fact that Robert Mueller wouldn't put anything on his name on anything that says about obstruction, that to me says he knows that it's a very icy thin case that he's really not sure about it. Mueller said no collusion. Exactly, yeah. Mueller said there was no collusion, but he wouldn't talk about the obstruction. He left Barr to make that decision on the obstruction charge. That's what we're talking about at the moment. No, Mueller only wanted 19 pages released first, but Barr released the whole report with the whole 19 pages in it. Yeah, exactly. And it was smart for Barr to do that, because at the end of the day, look, these 448 pages, it's a lot of information that would go through, and Mueller is meticulous when it comes to his investigations. He reports everything. We knew that about him because of the whole September 11th thing. So at the end of the day, we're not surprised it's 448 pages. I'm actually more surprised it's not 600 pages, but regardless. But at the end of the day, like I say, yeah, William Barr releasing the whole 448 pages was actually a smart move, because the Democrats are doubling down on this shit. And people are fed up with this. And people don't want to listen to this whole Mueller report, impeach Trump derangement syndrome anymore. And the more the Democrats focus on this, the bigger chance they're going to lose in 2020. So keep doubling down, give Trump his second term. Shit, the way they're going at the moment, we're still going to be talking about this in 2024. And we can maybe get Robbie Downey Jr. Trump Jr. to run as president or something. Well, like I say, they're shooting themselves in the foot. And, well, I don't know. Maybe you want to say Barr was smart because he released it because he knew. That would be my guess. Or maybe he wanted transparency. I think he's made that argument before. Maybe that's an argument. I don't know why he did it. I'm guessing. But, yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's smart that him and that they've released these whole 448 pages. There's no collusion. How can there be obstruction? Yeah, true. That's also a point too. If you didn't collude with Russia, why would you deliberately go through and obstruct? That's the argument. That's a good question. And his close friend was Comey. That's true too. Comey, Mueller, all these guys are deep state. Let's not forget it. Right? Let's make sure they wear the right hats. They're not in Trump's campaign. They're in deep state territory. Ellen, I think he mentioned obstruction to give the Democrats something to run with in the 2020 election. Maybe. Yeah, maybe he could have done that. I don't know. You think Mueller may have maybe gone through and deliberately made it so that they could have this for the... But he has to know this is a losing horse. He really does. Yes, that's what they're done here. Yeah, true. I don't think... Look, the more they go on about this... Look, you look at... What is the Democrats' campaign for 2020? Reparations, gun control, open borders, and Mueller report. Holy shit. How... Talk about a losing campaign. How can you possibly go through and decide that any of this campaign is going to be good? This is a terrible campaign. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. This is a terrible, terrible job. But regardless. Special counsel didn't examine DNC servers based on FBI investigation that didn't examine DNC servers. So, Washington, in an extensive report, Special Counsel Robert Mueller noted that his investigation team did not obtain or examine the servers from the Democrat National Committee, DNC, in determining whether those servers were hacked by Russia. So we'll just take the Democrats' word for it because they don't lie or anything. Instead, Mueller's assessment of the DNC's allegedly hacked servers rely upon the investigation conducted by the FBI and other agencies. It was actually a company. Damn it! I did know that company name, but I've forgotten it now. But they were outsourced. The DNC outsourced a computer company to go through and to give evidence of this Russian hacking. But I think that company also received money from DNC. I think they were backers or something of the DNC or something. There was something about that. But yeah, this whole DNCs were hacked thing is absolutely insane. Like, can you imagine me turning around saying to the FBI, my servers were hacked by a foreign entity? The FBI turning around saying, okay, we want to borrow your servers to verify it. And your response is, no, that's okay. My mate Joe Blow over here, who runs his own computer company, he's going to look at it for me and he'll tell you what he thinks. Like, it's just like, no, that's not how shit gets done. It's really not. But anyway. The office understands the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security and the state have separate investigative and activities, reads the Mueller report. However, the DNC famously refused to allow the FBI access to its servers to verify the allegations that Russia carried out the hack during the 2016 presidential campaign. Instead, the DNC reached an agreement with the FBI in which a third party, CrowdStrike, that was the company, conducted forensics on the server and shared details with the FBI. So like I said, imagine me, like for example, my server's getting hacked, right? I've got servers right here. Say they got hacked, right? And then around said the FBI, my servers were hacked by Russia. The FBI turning around saying, we want to borrow your servers. No, that's okay. I've got a mate who runs CrowdStrike. He's going to have a look for me and then he'll give you his report to say whether or not he thinks my servers were hacked by a foreign entity. Like, in what world, besides the DNC, would that ever work? It blows my mind, but anyway. Hey TJ, how are you, buddy? We're talking about the Barr testimony at the moment. So at this previously documented, CrowdStrike financed to the tune of $100 million for funding from the drive by Google Capital. Google Capital, which now goes by the name of Capital G, is an arm of Alphabet Incorporated, Google's parent company. Eric Sherman of Alphabet has the staunch and the active supporter of Hillary Clinton. Imagine my shock. So not only did they give it to their own friends to go through and to actually investigate, but the guy that donated $100 million to this CrowdStrike also is a huge Hillary supporter. Wow, that's a shocker. What's that link you just posted? Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, this whole CrowdStrike going through, doing an investigation and everything, it's really suspect to me. It really, really is. It's completely insane. The fact that the FBI would even allow something like this to happen, it completely blows my mind. It really does. Like, yeah. Imagine you telling the FBI that your servers were hacked and then saying, I'm not going to hand over my servers, I'm just going to get someone who's a friend to do a report to tell you. Like, the best part was when Ethe forgot what they were voting on. Oh boy. Yeah. Barr declines to testify before House Judiciary Committee, setting stage for subpoena battle. House Democrats threaten to try and force the Attorney General to appear before the panel if he does not come voluntarily. Washington Attorney General William Barr will not testify before the House Judiciary Committee on Thursday, the Justice Department said Wednesday. The Justice Department and Democrats are on the committee have been at odds whether the Attorney General could be questioned by staffers. In addition to lawmakers, Barr wanted to be questioned only by the House members. Barr's decision not to appear could lead House Democrats to subpoena him, setting the stage for a potential legal battle with the House Trump administration. Unfortunately, even after the Attorney General volunteered to testify, Chairman Jerry Nadler placed conditions on the House Judiciary Committee hearing that are unprecedented and unnecessary, said Justice Department spokesman Kerry Kapik. Chairman Nadler's instance of having staff question the Attorney General, a Senate-confirmed cabinet member, is inappropriate. Further, in light of the fact that the majority of the House Judiciary Committee, including Chairman Nadler, they're themselves attorneys, and the chairman has the ability to to fashion the hearing in a way that allows efficient and thorough questioning by the members themselves. The chairman's request is also unnecessary. Seems like they're trying to set the stage for something, and I don't blame Barr for backing out on this, to be honest. I think, to be honest, that this would be very, very... It'd be, I don't know. It would be... I wouldn't go doing it if I was him. Because I think they're trying to get him lying under oath or something like that. That they're going to try and get him on some gotcha so that they can get him impeached. And that's what I think they're trying to do. Get him into the House Judiciary Committee and try and get rid of him. Because he's... This whole report thing. Like, this is absolutely... It's insane. It really, really is. It's... What's that link?
The motion is approved. The gentleman from Florida is recognized for the purpose of an amendment. Oh, okay. Then, excuse me. A report being present, the question is on the adoption of the motion pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2J.
Did he just totally screw that up?
The gentleman from Florida is recognized for the purpose of an amendment. Oh, okay. Then, excuse me. A reporting quorum being present, the question is on the adoption of the motion pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2J, 2C.
Chairman.
Those in favor
Mr.
say
Chairman,
aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Opposed, no.
Mr. Chairman.
The ayes have it. The
Mr.
motion-
Chairman.
The ayes have it. The motion is
Mr.
agreed
Chairman, I seek recognition.
The motion is agreed to unless...
You won't recognize members of the committee
Unless...
who want to speak on this motion?
Does anyone wish to ask for a recorded vote?
Mr. Chairman, I've asked for recognition.
The clerk
If
will
you're
report.
not allowing
Clerk will report the
Republicans to,
result.
if you're not Republicans, we're
We
not
didn't
allowing
vote on the
Republicans to
question.
debate this motion.
Clerk
You're
will...
What are you
making it a
ashamed of?
kangaroo court here. We ought to be going by the rules and giving
Clerk will
people a
report the
chance to
result.
debate. No wonder the AG doesn't want to come when you're running things without regard for debate.
Gentlemen,
Totally unfair.
we're in the middle of a vote. The clerk will report the result.
Mr. Chairman, I
We get
seek
no amendments. Hold on a second. The ranking, point of
Clerk will
inquiry.
report the
Parliamentary
results.
inquiry.
this.
Right.
Regular
order.
That's absolutely disgusting that he would do that.
Parliamentary inquiry will be entertained after the clerk reports the result.
Mr. Chairman,
Clerk will report the result, and then we will...
So after they've recorded the result, then you can have your debate. Is that what he's actually saying? What's the point in that?
Do you want the ayes to call the roll?
Roll call.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
We've already asked for it.
I thought you recognized the gentleman from Florida for an amendment.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, you said you were going to
Clerk will
recognize
call the
Mr.
roll.
Gates for an amendment.
Mr. Chairman, move the table.
Move to table what?
Mr. Chairman, I move to amend.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn.
We're in the middle of a roll. We're in the middle of.
No, we were in the middle of debate, and you ended it without the question being called.
I was in the middle of offering an amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn.
Regular order.
Regular order is putting a motion to adjourn. That's a motion. Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
The motion to adjourn is not in order in the middle of a roll call.
Well, the roll has not been called yet.
We were in the middle of debate,
Ayes and nays.
and you didn't allow it.
I was in the middle of offering an amendment.
Mr. Chairman?
Ayes and nays.
Should recognize the man.
Mr. Chairman?
Roll call vote.
Mr.
Clerk will
Chairman,
report the
rolling
result.
No wonder William Barr doesn't want to turn up to this. This is kangaroo court. This is literally a kangaroo court.
Florida.
He's literally just ignoring what they say and just proceeding with what he wants. He's just pushing his narrative. Like, how the hell does he still have his job after this?
You said you'd take
Clerk will
one
report
amendment,
the result.
and you recognize the man from Florida.
The clerk will report the result.
Mr. Chairman, I appeal the ruling of the chair on the motion to adjourn, which is a privileged resolution.
Chairman, there were 15 ayes.
TJ, because he's trying to push a narrative. That's why it is.
Mr. Chairman, appeal.
Finished.
That was on the table.
That was on
That
table.
was on the table.
Clerk will report the result.
Yeah, it was before it called. I mean, we can sit here and ram this through, and the choo-choo train's on the track. If you want to
Mr. Chairman, there were 15 ayes, 22 noes. 15 ayes, 22 noes on the motion to table.
The motion to table is not adopted.
Mr. Chairman.
Wait a minute. That was a motion to table.
Mr. Chairman.
We didn't even get the results of the earlier vote.
Yeah, we just did.
Mr. Chairman.
No, the one before that.
Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
to table is not adopted.
Mr. Chairman.
That was previous.
The next item on the agenda was Mr. Gates.
No need to apologize, gentlemen.
For an amendment. That whole contradictions was on the motion to table, which was not adopted.
I have an amendment
Wait a
today.
minute. Table what? Table what?
Mr. Chairman, I reserve a point of order on the amendment.
Wait a minute. Mr. Gates is offering an amendment, correct?
Yes.
And I reserve a point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, okay. Clerk will report. A point of order is reserved. The clerk will report the amendment.
Amendment to
It's absolutely disgusting, isn't it? Oh boy. So yeah, do you really blame William Barr for not wanting to turn up to that shit show? Like, I sure as shit wouldn't want to turn up for it. I can't blame him for not wanting to be honest. And this is what I was saying. At the end of the day, the Democrats are just going to try and do this shit when he's there. They're just going to try and railroad him. Just try and push through a narrative. Try and get him so they can get him on something so they can impeach him and get rid of him. Because they get rid of this guy, then maybe we can get rid of Trump. That's their plan. He's said that he doesn't support impeaching of Trump. So it's like... Welcome to Insane Silent World. Not even Clown World anymore. No, it's not. It's really not. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is. But regardless, I suppose. Are we that surprised, though? Are we that surprised that the Democrats are doing this? Like, who is not surprised? Because, personally, I'm not. I'm not that surprised at all, to be honest. Obama's corrupt AG Eric Holder unleashes on Barr mid-hearing. His conduct is unacceptable. Table what? He forgets. Yeah, true. Yeah. Although, to be honest, I found it hard to follow that whole sting too, because it's just people yelling, you know. Yeah. The corrupt plotters and swamp dwellers are not happy after Barr the Democrat senators during the hearing. First Comey, now Holder. Barr refused to be intimidated by the Democrat senators during the hearing. He doubled down on the spying allegation and confirmed he's looking into the origins of the illegal CI investigation of Trump and his associates. Also left Senator Dick Blumenthal stunned after he refused to hand over his Mueller memos. The tables are turning and the Democrat media complex has gone into overdrive, attacking William Barr, calling on him to resign. Former Attorney General Eric Holder jumped onto the fray Wednesday afternoon and demanded Republican senators stop attacking the men and women of the DOJ, FBI, and Mueller's team. So what? You don't want them to investigate where this information, why this information was investigated? You don't want to investigate someone who used a opposition research to bring through a FISA warrant? I wonder why. Enough, Holder said, arguing that Barr's spying allegation is nonsense. Holder also said that Barr's conduct is unacceptable. Holder, the conduct of AG Barr over the last few weeks in the hearing today has been shown to be unacceptable. I thought he was an institutionalist. In other words, he used to play ball. Committed to both the rule of law and his role as lawyer for the American people. He was very wrong. He's protecting the president. Sounds like there's a lot of allegations and opinion pieces in this thing. To be honest, yeah. Look, we know why they want to get rid of Barr, right? Barr said that he won't support impeaching the Trump. Let me find that article. Won't support impeaching Trump. So this is something that Barr has said. So, Bob Barr, Trump shouldn't be impeached, but Bill Clinton's impeachment was justified. Here's why. So, obviously, the main thing we're talking about here is obviously with Trump. So, some House Democrats are calling for impeachment proceedings against President Trump on charges of obstruction, and justice claim that President Clinton was impeached in 1998 for far less serious misconduct. They believe that Clinton impeachment was justified, but based on what is now the public record, I don't believe Trump impeachment is warranted. That's why they want to get rid of him. Because he's not playing ball with the impeachment. So that's why they don't like him. They don't want Barr there because he's sticking up for the president, so to speak. So, yeah. They keep asking Barr if he would recuse himself on the 14th and the 13th and the 12th investigations. They don't want him anything to do with this because they know that if he is, then, you know. Netler slams Barr's decision to skip House hearing, threatens contempt if he is contempt. Whatever it is. He is terrified. So the House Judiciary Committee has been informed that Attorney General Barr will not testify in a planned hearing Thursday. To the panel told Fox News, even as the Democrats who led the committee vowed to hold the hearing anyway and threatened a possible contempt segregation against Barr. The prospect of the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler gaveling a hearing with an empty chair came hours after Barr endured withering questions from the Senate Judiciary Committee earlier in the day. A key sticking point was that Nadler wants to have the House Judiciary Committee staff, rather than members of Congress, question Barr on his handling of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report, but DOJ officials said members should conduct the inquiry. In remarks to Thursday afternoon, Nadler said Democrats had worked around the clock to address Barr's concern and slammed what he called Barr's lack of candor. Yeah, that's true. And I support Barr in this decision, to be honest. I don't think he's done anything wrong at all, to be honest. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, so we know what they want. They want to get rid of Barr because at the end of the day, he's sticking up for Trump. They get rid of Barr, they can get rid of Trump, get impeachment, then they're going to then what? They're going to get rid of, what, the Vice President, Mike Pence? And then what? Hopefully get another election? Like, Jesus Christ, this is absolutely insane. This is literally the Democrats losing their shit because they what? Lost an election? Like, it's absolutely crazy what they're doing right now. It really, really is. Yeah, it happens from time to time. It should come back. Yeah, it should be back now. Yeah, don't ask, Alan. It's every time we start talking about this shit, our feed cuts out for a bit. Yeah, it should be back now. All right. Trans woman smashes 4 female weightlifting records at one event. Let me ask you guys, does that look like a female to you? Like, at the end of the day, if you're going to go compete in the Olympics, right? And you had to compete against males or females, how many people do you think are going to be tempted to say, I identify as a female? Like, look at the photo. Does that looks like a... Does anybody think that looks female to you? Like... Competing at the 100% Raw Weightlifting Federation Champions last weekend, Gregory, who sounds like it's a guy's name, set a series of world records for women's weightlifting and won 9 out of 9 events. Welcome back, Elaine. Ellen? I can't pronounce things. I have a speech impediment. I don't do it on purpose, I swear. Gregory set a world records of women's weightlifting and won 9 out of 9 events. Gregory set records in Masters World Squats, Open World Bench Press, Masters World Deadlift, and Masters World Total. Yahoo Sports reported. This is what Gregory looks like. Does Gregory look like a male or female to you guys? Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. And some people are already saying their response. Interesting, isn't it? That kind of looks a little... I think he has bigger biceps than me. But the question you have to ask, at the end of the day, if you're a female, if you were born female, it's a man, baby! Yeah, good old Austin Powers. Let me ask you this question, right? If you're a female, you're born female, you were born, vagina, no prostate, the whole kit and caboodle, right? Complete female. And you were told that you were going to compete against something like that. Would you bother showing up? Would you bother turning up? Or would you sit there and think, this is absolutely insane. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to beat this in a weightlifting contest. I'm going to just have the weekend and I might just go to Vegas instead. Like, you do have to sit here and wonder, like, why would you turn up? Why would you even... You might as well just go and play blackjack or roulette or something at Vegas. Like...
Going to take for the Democratic Party to finally start embracing policies?
I don't think it has anything to do with the weightlifting, but anyway. Gregory celebrated the big win on an Instagram post on Monday and thanked the event's authorities for having such a tolerant attitude that allowed him to win. What a day, 9 from 9. Masters World Squat records, Open World Bench records, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Gregory added. As a transgender lifter, I was unsure what to expect going into this meet, and everyone, all the spotters, loaders, referees, staff, yeah, because they're too afraid of being fired. Literally. Like, they know if they speak out against this and if they comment on this, they're gonna get canned and never work ever again. But Gregory's overpowering win against the natural-born female competitors did not pass without some criticism. Imagine my shock. Former British Olympic swimmer Sharon Davis, who's won silver medals in the 1980s Summers Olympics, slammed Gregory's one-sided appearance, saying Gregory has a male body with a male physiology and that a woman with a female body cannot compete. It's pointless, unfair playing field. Does she not have a point? I would say she does. And in 2004, gold medal winner Dame Kelly Holmes echoed the criticism, saying Gregory's win was a bloody joke. On Monday, Holmes tweeted, "It's a bloody joke and getting ready for a biological woman to boycott certain events. Having a trans category if need be, but even a better trans games. Otherwise, I'm starting to worry about the backlash, the abuse the trans community will get from spectators. It will happen." Beth Caesar, founder of Save Women's Sports, also criticised the event following Gregory to compete against the natural-born women candidates. I would say, yeah, it's cheating. I would say that I remember back in the 1990s and 1980s, Russia and whatnot and China and all that were banned from certain events because of cheating. I would say that there's no difference. There's no difference between this. This is, yeah. He has an Adam's apple, and you can see his veins in his arms. He's just scared to compete with guys. Yeah, probably because he knows he won't win. Like, yeah. Julia Roberts, you are so hot and pretty, woman. Julia Roberts wishes every school bathroom was gender neutral. Because, you know, we've got a virtual signal now. Because, you know, it's the in thing to do, apparently. Hollywood actress Julia Roberts urged schools across America to make every restroom gender neutral in a social media post this weekend. Because having a bunch of horny guys that are running around with testosterone and puberty and everything like that, and having them as well in a bunch of female bathrooms is going to go really, really well. Let's put a bunch of people going through puberty, male and female, in the same bathroom, and let's see what happens. On the bright side, at least we wouldn't have to worry about the boom and or the population control, would we? We wouldn't have to worry about population being stagnant. You know what's going to happen? Sex. Sex is going to happen. And not only that, but it's also, guys are going to take the opportunity to pervert the girls. The girls are going to take the opportunity to pervert guys. It's just going to be a great free-for-all. Like, absolute stupid idea. It really, really is. So the Academy Award-winning director followed to her Instagram story where she expressed support for Glennis, an organisation that seeks to improve education system that too frequently allows lesbian, gays, bisexuals, transgender and queer questioning LGBTQ standards students to be bullied, discriminated against and fall through the cracks. So in other words, we're going to go through and support every minority. But, you know, if they're Blair, white or whatever, then, yeah, they're evil. So, Roberts has jumped in the political space campaigning for Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. So she's, that as well. During the Broadway fundraiser, a month before the election, she went on stage, profanity-laden rant, saying, "Wouldn't it be great if every time an actor or some actor so scared out of their element said F you, you just had to instantly give $500. Let's F make that what goes on right now? I don't know, I'm just saying I've been dragged out here, I'm scared, I'm tired. Oh, my kids are watching this, so for every bad mother that says F word, could all the mothers just relate and give $500? Jesus Christ, are you literally asking the average day people to give $500? What? Do you really think the average day family has $5 to give? Like, seriously? Talk about in your ivory tower there, darling. Oh no, not you too, Julia Roberts. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel. She was kind of hot, but anyway. I think we all know why Julia Roberts wanted that to happen. Lol. Don't know what you mean there, TJ. If there's something I'm missing, let me know. Another one steps towards normalizing pedophilia. This is disgraceful and disgusting. I don't know if it's pedophilia there, Eric, but at the end of the day, I would say that it's look, it's definitely about, yeah, like, what does everybody think's going to happen when you put young kids going through puberty in the same bathroom together, male and female? Yeah, exactly. Like, let's face it, like, we were all there one stage, like, yeah. Venezuela exposed just how far the left will go to deny the truth, the horrors of socialism. So, utopia begins with the brotherhood of a man and ends with the people eating their pets. You'd think the British left would hesitate before taking the side of President Maduro in his latest clash with Julian Guaido. After all, Jeremy Corbyn's warm words for Maduro's predecessor. Thanks, Hugo Chev, for showing that the poor matter and the wealth can be shared, have come back to haunt him. When Chavez assumes power in 1988, 40% of Venezuelan homes were living in poverty. Last year, thanks to the legacy of that man, Diane Abbott once laundered for showing another way is possible, the figure had climbed to 82%. The rate of inflation predicted to hit 10 million%, I think it is. I don't know if there's enough zeros on that, or if there's too many zeros. 10 million% this year. Oh, she has a 4th grader that identifies as a girl, does she? Okay. Yeah. No, I don't think either Ellen, sorry. I don't think a lot of people have $500 to give. I think the fact that $500 to give, I think it's just showing how out of touch she is, to be honest. I really do think it is that. It's just her being out of touch with the average person. And like I said, it's her being in an ivory tower. So, yeah. Look, like I said, look, she was hot and pretty woman. But, yeah. Suppose you can hot and still have fucked up politics, I suppose, don't you? Medical tyranny. State kidnaps boy cured of cancer after parents opt out of further chemo treatments. Media sides with the medical establishment while internet users overwhelmingly support the parents. This is something you probably won't hear much of. Josh McAdams and Taylor Ballard Ball have been arrested and are facing charges of child neglect for choosing to stop doctor-recommended chemotherapy for their son Noah after he was cleared of cancer. The Florida couple claims Noah has been cancer-free for over 2 weeks after going through 2 rounds of chemotherapy, specifically Vinscreen? But doctors at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, want to continue with the chemotherapy against the parents' wishes. We busted out that hospital with no cancer cells left to spare, Belden wrote on an April 16th Facebook post. She also detailed the regimen used to cure Noah, who suffered from acute lymphoblastic leukemia. For those who are asking, we did 2 rounds of chemotherapy, specifically Vinscreen, because they can get medical court order to force you to do that anyways for the child who has been diagnosed. We also used rosemary, vitamin B complex, including B17, completely alkaline diet, and a liver, kidney, gallbladder blood herbal extract. Daily colloidal silver, high doses of vitamin C, reishi mushrooms, tea and grapefruit peel, and breast milk. So, yeah, kind of sounds like a huge regimen, but hey, if it works, I suppose. Sorry, there's some guy out the neighbours mowing the lawn. After the hospital notified the police that the parents didn't show up to the necessary chemo treatment on April 22nd, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office released a statement reading, "Missing and endangered child." On April 22nd, 2019, the parents failed to bring the child into a medically necessary hospital procedure. The parents have further refused to follow up with the life-saving medical care the child needs, the Post reports. Law enforcement also tried to paint the father as being potentially dangerous because he could have a weapon, which would be legal as McAdams isn't a felon. The parents have also possibly criminal charges, neglect charges pending. Please use caution as the father is potentially armed, they said. After the multi-state manhunt, the family was located in Connecticut on Monday, and the sheriff's office added an update saying he's in need of medical attention but safe. Thank you to the community in getting it out. Fox News said that, TJ? So Russia supports the current regime. And America and whatnot is supporting the opposition. That's what Venezuela was all about. It's all about, money, investment into the country. That's what it's all about, to be honest. Travelling circus to be banned from using wild animals in England. I just remembered too, guys, with Fox News. Look, I love Fox News sometimes. But just remember, they are establishment. Never forget that Fox News, while it might be pro-Trump in some instances, it is deep state still. It is the military-industrial complex. There are good actors on there, like, for example, Hannity and Tucker, for example. But don't forget that it is run by the deep state. So, yeah. Travelling paid opposition is what they like to call them. Travelling circuses will be banned from using wild animals as of next year. Environmental Secretary Michael Grove announced earlier today a new bill will prevent animals such as reindeer, zebras, and camels, which are currently used, from performing as part of the shows. Which is weird because animals in circuses actually have longer lifespans than wild animals. But anyway. As of the last 3 years, there are reportedly 19 animals in travelling circuses in Britain, including 3 camels, a raccoon, and a zebra. How many died? Probably none. The wild animals in the circus bill will make it illegal for circuses to operate in England to use wild animals in a bid to further the conservation of our understanding of wild animals. Mr. Grove explained the travelling circuses are no place for wild animals in the 21st century, and I'm pleased that this legislation will put an end to this practice for good. Today's announcement follows other measures we'll have taken to strengthen our position as a world leader on animal protection. I'm going to shove that bloody whippersnapper up someone's butt in a minute, I swear. Don't you start. I've got him out there. I don't need you. You want to come and say hi to the... Yeah, come on. Hang on, my cat wants to say hi. No, he's running away. Okay, he's scared of the whipper snipper. 500 bees killed after hive torn apart, burned, reward offer for culprits. This is actually really... It seems to me they took the kid in relation to the parents opting out of the treatment. The kid gets healed from cancer and they're panicking that the people might think that chemo doesn't work. Well, that's true. Yeah. See, I don't know how I feel about this, right? Look, at the end of the day, I get the hospital's argument because the kid, for example, right, he might be cured now, but by ignoring the rest of those chemo treatments, could cause the cancer to come back, for example. So I get their argument, but I don't know. I think parents should have a say as well. It's kind of a hard one, really. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. But anyway, let's jump into the bees. A reward has been offered to find someone responsible for killing more than 500,000 bees in Texas by tearing apart the beehives and setting them on fire. So, a deputy of the Broward County Sheriff's Office found several burning bee boxes at the Broward County Beehives Association in Anglican, Texas, early Saturday. Authorities said the department extinguished the fire, but several thousands of dollars in damage had already been done, according to the sheriff's office. The bee boxes dumped over. I think it's supposed to mean tipped over. Before they were set on fire, according to the association, the yard that was vandalized was a place for those who practice beekeeping as a hobby. The people who pass by are able to view the bees and the beekeepers that care for them. The intention of this yard was to help hobby beekeepers and organize community awareness of beekeeping, the association wrote in a Facebook post. Beekeepers broke down in tears while they saw a floating broad frame in the water. When they saw the floating broad frame in the water with bees still carrying from the broad, according to the association. I don't know what that is, but anyway. Authorities posted several pictures showing charred beehives littering the ground of the bees. Stephen Buckman, owner of Bear Creek Bee Recovery, told ABC Hurston Station that it takes a long time to establish a colony, up to a year for a full one, and that the queens were probably killed. That's a bad thing. About 20 beehives and 24 colonies were destroyed just as honey season in the area kicks off. Reports between 500 and 600,000 bees were killed, Bruckman said. Yeah, I'll put a link those 3 pages on Facebook if I can find it. So that's the link to the post there, guys, if you want to check them out. That'll also give you the link to go to the Broward County Beekeepers Association. So, yeah. Yes, I know, I'm not logged in. Thank you very much. Look, at the end of the day, obviously the bad thing about this is obviously those bees. Bees are hugely important for the environment. They pollinate. They are hugely important. My understanding anyway. So look, at the end of the day, I would say, yeah, it is a bad thing that these bees were killed. I want to know who is responsible for it. Because at the end of the day, it's absolutely disgusting. But that said, look, whether they'll find someone who's responsible or not, I don't know. But hopefully they do, I suppose. But yeah, I might reach out to them on Facebook and see if there's any updates or anything like that. We'll keep an eye on it. Apart from that, guys, that's basically it for the day. Yeah. I want to upload a video for the gaming channel. So it's an hour and a half, so yeah, I've got time for the other one. I also got to work tonight too. The Earth needs those bees. True. Depends on what type of bees they were too. Were they African bees or were they normal European bees? Hopefully, if anything, they were African bees because they're the worst ones. They're the ones that kill the European bees. So hopefully, if any bees died, hopefully it's the African bees. And hopefully he's got away. Although I don't think the queens actually leave, do they? I don't think the queens leave the hive. So yeah, I don't know. But guys, apart from that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Yep, no worries, Ellen. But yeah, guys, look, obviously, thanks to everybody who tuned in today. Yeah, Forbes has done a hit piece on Star Citizen. I was going to cover this on the gaming channel, actually. Bum, 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 bum. 14 hours ago. So, yeah. I wanted to talk about this, to be honest. So it says it raised 300 million, which is a lot of crap. But may never be to play. It says it raised 300 million, right? Then you come down here, it says something like 250. And then they come down and they took 288 million. And then they talk about 242 million. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, how many times do you want to report that it inaccurate? Like, I'm allergic to bees. But yeah, I was going to talk about that actually, to be honest. But guys, yeah, apart from that, obviously, look, at the end of the day, thank you everybody who jumped in. Thank you everybody who has been in today. It's going to be a short one today because most of the people, everybody wants to talk about William Barr. And, well, we've pretty much covered it, so... Yeah, guys, look, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If the video helpful, please smack that like button. If the channel, if you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Thanks, Eric. Yeah, thank you guys, obviously, who tuned in today, who are here live. Thank you, everybody who watches us later on demand with YouTube. And thank you, everybody who supports this channel by clicking like, share. Obviously, sharing it on social media is the best way. Because without that support, guys, obviously it's... Yeah, YouTube is just really trying to kill the channel right now. They're trying to kill everybody. Oh, we should talk about that. Do you guys want to cover one more topic before we go? You want to talk about YouTube losing $70 million? So this came out ago. Let me know in chat. Do you guys want to do this last song? Do this last one? Or do you want to make it a separate video later? Let me know what your thoughts are. Breakfast. You want to talk about the 70 million or do you want to leave it? Yeah, Star Citizen looks... Yeah, it's actually really fun. It's actually free to play for the weekend too, by the way. For the whole week, sorry. But yeah, Alphabet lost 70 billion. Do you want to talk about this or... There's about a 30-second delay, so... Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Probably could have talked about it by now. Let's just talk about it. Alright, so Alphabet had more than $70 billion in market cap wiped out and says YouTube is one of the problems. So Google has a YouTube problem, according to CFO Ruth Portraya. On Monday, after reporting that advertising revenue grew by 15% versus 24% it saw a year ago, Google's parent company Alphabet saw its stock punished. It fell more than 8% Tuesday afternoon. According to Portrait, YouTube was one of their culprits. While YouTube clicks continue to grow at a substantial pace in the first quarter, the rate of YouTube click growth rate decelerated versus a strong Q1 last year, reflecting changes that were made in early 2018, which were believed to have overall additive to the user and advisor experience, Porter said on the company's earnings Monday. Porter didn't expand on precisely what caused the which causes at YouTube led to poor ad revenue growth, and YouTube isn't saying anything beyond her statement from Monday. But if you wind the clocks back a year, it's easy to see what happened. So the first quarter of 2018, Google began making changes to YouTube's algorithm designed to stop harmful content from appearing in feeds of recommended videos you see on the side of the video page. The goal was to make it harder to find videos of full conspiracy theories, fake news, and all the other detractors occasionally sent advertisers fleeing from the platform. Instead of YouTube directing you to a conspiracy theory about the latest school shooting, you were shown a relative video from authoritative news sources, and the company considered worthy of bringing you accurate information. On top of that, YouTube has removed millions of channels and videos that violated the company's harmful content policies, and most notably Alex Jones. But all those garbage videos also kept engagement high. It kept YouTube users tuning into their feeds beyond the video they came to watch, even if the company said it only made up less than 1% of all videos on the site. So it was literally incentivized to keep its algorithm pumping junk to the top of the people's feeds, so people will keep watching and all ad dollars keep flowing. The devastating Bloomberg report earlier this month showed that for years, YouTube execs ignored warnings from their own employees that the misinformation and narcissism in the site had gotten out of hand. Blah, 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 blah. Now, my response on this, right, they're trying to turn around and say, yes, it's part of the ad revenue because they've banned and censored a whole bunch of people. They've gone through, they've changed the algorithm. I completely agree with. But here's the thing I disagree with, right? They say that it was because of engagement, right? Which I think is a point. But I disagree about why people aren't watching. So, for example, school, like we do this, right? When we, for example, go live. If there's like a terrorist attack or something like that, we did one a couple of weeks ago. I think it was the Sri Lanka thing. We went live as soon as we had the information about all of that, right? Now, we weren't, by all means, literally the first on the scene, so to speak. Other people about it. But we were live and we did have a somewhat pretty good showing because obviously it's a hot topic. But here's the thing, right? Even our engagement regarding YouTube, we have noticed has taken a dive, especially lately over the past couple of months. They've changed the algorithm again, and it's affected people's recommendations. So, for example, say you're looking up, for example, we'll just say, I don't know, say there's Sri Lankan bombing, right? And you look up Sri Lankan bombing attack. And all you see is videos about that from Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all these sort of authoritative or authorized news anchors. Most people don't believe mainstream media, obviously for justified reasons. And people are going to say, okay, all I'm looking at the moment for Sri Lanka, all I'm finding is mainstream media. I'm not interested. I might go and check out BitChute. Or I might go and check out live.leak. Or I might go and check out Facebook, or whatever it may be. So, yes, it is, for example, people watching the shows, people having or being on the platform, being encouraged for that engagement time. Yes, that is true. But I think the main reason is because at the end of the day, people don't trust mainstream media. And what YouTube is doing at the moment is they are pushing mainstream media over everybody else because mainstream media is getting their ass handed to them by a bunch of kids sitting in their spare rooms, their kitchens, whatever it may be. Mark Dice, for example, does his videos while standing in his kitchen with a green screen. That's all he does. Laptop, green screen, kitchen. And he gets, hundreds of thousands of views every video. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think this is YouTube turning around saying we're going to discredit or we're going to disincentivize these independent creators who have made this platform what it is. We're going to push mainstream media. People are looking up things like the Sri Lankan bombing, for example. They're seeing a whole bunch of mainstream media articles, and they're like, no, I don't want to watch this. I don't trust CNN. I don't trust MSNBC, SBS in Australia, whatever it may be. I want nonpartisan media, for example. And that's what I think it is all about. I think it's people are tuning out of YouTube because at the end of the day, they know that it's not right. It's not just that, but, like how many people used to watch Alex Jones's content? How many hours per day, watch time did Alex Jones get on YouTube? And not just that, but like all these channels, they went through and they banned all these gun channels. They went through and they banned all these marijuana channels. They've really clamped down lately on these channels that they're allowing on the platform. They're banning people left, right, and center. You start banning these people from these channels, and people are going to go elsewhere that they can get that content. And this is what YouTube is doing wrong, is they've lost their idea, they've lost their focus on what they're actually supposed to be about. They were supposed to be for creators, but at the end of the day, they've lost it. So, but yeah, I don't know, guys. That would be my expression. Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, $70 billion in market cap. Am I surprised? No. We warned them. We said to them, you're screwing over your platform. Literally, get woke, go broke is happening to YouTube. Well done, Susan Wojcicki. You are literally crashing a multi-billion-dollar company. Well done. TJ says, this is why sometimes I go to YouTube? UGE Tube. I never even heard of that. Good conversation platform instead of watching videos on YouTube. I've never even heard of that platform yet, to be honest. I have to check it out. Ellen says, yes, what they call fake news is real news. Bizarro world. Yeah, true. I don't trust him either. I watched Alex. Because about 50% of what he said was real. A lot of it was theatre. Like ripping his shit off and going, ah! That's all theatre. That's him being an actor. That's him keeping people entertained while he's red pilling them. So, yeah, and look, we called out them banning Alex, and we're huge when it comes to anti-censorship. We will stick up for anybody for censorship, and we called them out when they banned Alex for it. And who's not surprised? Who is not surprised that $70 billion have been wiped off their market cap because they're going through and they're censoring the YouTubers and they're trying to push through these corporate overlords that nobody likes. Here, just watch CNN. We don't want to. Just watch it. But we don't want to. Watch it! Is basically what's happening right now. And yeah, you're right. They've lost their way. They have. They have lost their way. They've lost their base. Like, yeah, like, just even this T-Series thing. Like, T-Series was supposedly started, pirating songs. You imagine if you pirated songs on YouTube and you were a creator? Holy shit, your channel would be gone. So, yeah, and the thing is that while they try and silence creators, someone will go through and make their own platform. And at the end of the day, YouTube is going to get left reeling behind because anybody that goes through and makes a platform that supports free, say First Amendment laws, it's going to be hugely popular. It really, really is. I thought about doing it myself, actually, to be honest, but there's a lot of problems with me doing it. But yeah, but guys, apart from the end of the day, that's the article I wanted to talk about. Get woke, go broke YouTube. Well done, Susan Lewinsky. Yeah, Alex is entertaining. Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I have a bit of a soft spot for Alex. Look, has he made mistakes? Sure. But at the end of the day, he's also got a lot right. This is something I said the other day. Someone was Tim Pool was saying if you ban Alex for being a conspiracy theorist, you have to ban all the mainstream media from YouTube right now because this whole Russiagate, and he has a point. He definitely does. Someone was saying, imagine comparing mainstream media to Alex. My response, yeah, Alex has got stuff wrong. You're right, he has. But he's also got stuff right. And you can't go justicizing a man because of getting stuff wrong and then ignoring what he got right. If you want to talk about everything that he got wrong, which is basically Sandy Hook, sure, whatever. And even that, he's admitted that he got it wrong, right? Sure. You want to go, sure, he got Sandy Hook wrong. But you know what he got right? There's a whole bunch of other shit. And at the end of the day, I am firmly under the belief that if someone gets something wrong, so be it. But I think people should be able to have conspiracy theories because sometimes they end up being right. I think Alex is on... Oh, okay. I've never even heard of this, hey. Should probably not say that too loud. Might go after him on there. I'll do a Google search for it later and I'll look it up. But YouTube's crackdown on content policy has gun tubers launching their own platform. Oh, okay, so it's like a gun platform or something, is it? I'll check it out. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, guys, apart from that, look, yeah, I'm not surprised by $70 billion by wiped off their market cap. Really, really not. So, yeah. Apart from that, guys, obviously, at the end of the day, if this video has been helpful, please smack